folks, and welcome back to the weekly comic book snap. Yes, we're back again here at Frog Bros Comics and Books in front of the glorious wall of comics, and I'm here with big old
behind
Splash.
the glorious table of books.
The glorious table of books, and look how they're arranged.
That's
It's absolutely beautiful, isn't it?
Isn't it just?
Just makes these little touches, just make the difference, I think. You know?
Should we take a moment to see the lines?
It's episode 60. Can you believe?
No.
And we've got 4 fabulous books, haven't we, from this week?
From this week? Yes.
And this week is
the 11th.
11th of
March. Already.
2020.
Yeah.
Boom.
Year
of the C, the big
stuff.
C word.
Yeah.
Yes.
Stay safe out there, people.
Absolutely stay safe.
And
Serious
stay in.
business. And if you're staying in,
Watch the snap.
why not get some comics in, you know? Read some comics.
We post.
Yeah.
Just put it out there.
do. Posted. Good, so we've got 4 books for you. Where are we starting this week, Spesh?
Should we start with last week's
Yes.
Flash 750?
Now, why have we taken a step back in time here?
I just thought we didn't really give it any
its dues.
time whatsoever. And it's a big old meaty book.
It is a big book.
And
Takes a while to wade through.
And so now we've had time to wade away.
Yes, we have.
Yeah. No story in there by Mark Waid. Sorry. It's a bit of a drop ball. I don't think there was anyway.
Right.
You know, but he's done some epic tones.
Yeah.
On the Flash before, but there is a whole host of writers.
It's a little compendium of stories, isn't it?
There is. My favourite in there was Jeff Johns'.
Right. Which one was
Captain Cold. I think it was called. What was it called? It was something about beer run. Yes, beer run.
Yeah. No, that was my favourite actually.
Yeah,
enough.
that was nice.
Did quite nicely.
And I also loved the Riley Rossmo art. I don't know where I stood there,
Right.
or Riley.
And which one?
This is Riley Rossmo. It's all a little bit off, where in the Hall of Mirrors.
A little bit warpy. Yeah,
very
yeah,
warpy, but I do love.
I
do love a little bit of Riley Rossmo.
No, that's cool. Yeah, I did enjoy that actually. What did you think of the book as a whole? I mean, it's
personally.
Yeah.
And honestly.
Honestly and personally, Spesh, what did you think of the book?
I've really liked Williams' run on the Flash.
Right. Okay.
And this is slightly a continuation of that, so I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the kind of looks back, and it's also got at the end of it, it's got the Wally West flash forward story, where Wally's cruising around on the Mobius chair, which I've loved since Batman got on it, like, ooh, and he's going to get some special powers, and he's going to set up the whole of the DC look to the future as well.
Okay, so there were 1 or 2 things in there that actually set up some stuff happening in the future.
Yes, it's going to come out on Free Comic Book Day, first Saturday in May.
Boom, people!
Generation Zero is one of DC's offerings, and it's basically Wally's got the Mobius chair, and the Mobius chair is now being imbued with the powers of Dr. Manhattan because they are playing with those Watchmen toys. So he's got this godlike power. And then everything's going to spill out from there, and they started planting seeds as well in Wonder Woman 750 with the rewriting.
The
rewriting of DC's history.
Yes,
and
because it needs to be rewritten every now and again, doesn't it? Let's face it. You know, we need jumping on spot, don't we?
We do need jumping on spot, and
as we discussed,
you can't have character like Flash 750s because Flash was first published in 1940. So
is this actually the 750th? Is this because they went back to the numbers, didn't they? After the
exactly. So it's an accumulation legacy numbers.
Like it.
750.
Like it.
80 years of the Scarlet
80 years
Speed.
of flashing.
Yeah, exactly. And so I really liked it. You got all the different flashes in the
The last story I really enjoyed. The one with the older guy. You know, the old was it Jay?
Garrett.
Yeah. That one I quite enjoyed as well.
I think stylistically, Mr. Garrett is probably my favourite.
Yeah, I think so.
It's just something about that old tin helmet, isn't it?
That's kind of cool.
I really like it. But anyway, I think it's worth it.
It's good fun. Yeah,
I do like these kind of anthology books.
Having a bit of a whinge, wasn't I? When I was wading through it, but I thought, looking back retrospectively, having gone through it,
could have played things differently.
It's all right, innit? Not too bad.
Yeah,
I've enjoyed it. It's a bright book. It's fun.
And it's got, like I say, it's got little seeds there. It's got little one-shots in there. It's got stuff that's going to carry on in the Flash, which I'm really enjoying. So it's worth
Worth
a
picking
look
up.
ski.
Snappers. Get
Even
involved.
if we're a week late on it.
Yeah,
and
but you know.
my favourite cover, because it came out with about 20, not 20, but about 8 covers. For different decades.
I see.
Forgot that. But my personal favourite is from Mr. Manipul.
Boom. There we go.
One.
No, good book. Yeah, good fun. Nice one. So where are we on to next? Where are
Well,
we going?
that's up to you. Where do you want to go?
Well, let's talk about the one the Atlantean chap, the Submariner guy, because I think this divided us a little bit. Like
or Namor?
Namor. I'd say Namor.
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 Namor, man, Namor.
That's the northern thing. I was thinking it was like a sophisticated French kind of.
No.
Like a Moor.
Who's from the north of England, wasn't he? Namor.
Right, okay.
That's what his mother said. Namor, you little bugger. Lord.
Okay, man.
Back
so
to,
let's go to this one. So this one was a snapshot.
It is. So
Hold on a minute. Snapshot. You know what's coming?
Yeah, no.
Suddenly snapshots happening. Right, so yeah. So
So the
this
Marvel
is,
snapshots.
the Marvel snapshot, yeah, Submariner. Now,
is going to be a bunch of retrospectives looking back at the heroes from the Gold and Silver Age.
and
of
it
comics.
truly looks back, doesn't it? My oh my, does this look back?
Aye.
So it's is this? It might be cool actually for all the characters because I've never really got into Namor. I've never really read much of it.
Namor.
Yeah, so I'm not really emotionally invested in the character.
I think it's quite hard to get emotionally invested in the character because what this does is nails on who the character is.
Yeah.
And I do like books that do this. And
Okay.
Namor is a dick.
No shit, Sherlock.
No.
He's a bit of a douchebag.
He fully
Yeah.
is. But you know, if you're
So-
if you're a prince of an underwater world, you maybe think you are a little bit
Yeah.
above everybody
See,
who's above you. And
I sort of imagine Atlanteans to be, you know, sort of quite, I don't know, altruistic and sort of, you know, on a higher plane of sort of existence who've got over some of these small egotistical problems that we silly apes face.
dude, he cruises around in trunks all day long. And
He does.
as somebody afflicted by this, he's got daft ears.
Right, okay, he's got a chip on his shoulder about
Yeah,
his,
I feel it. I feel
Yeah,
it.
well, okay, I can understand. I'll forgive him that then. Anyway, the book.
The book, you didn't like it. I think it's good, wholesome fun, which nails on, still being wholesome, but nails on the, for lack of a better word, dickishness of Namor.
Yeah. So I didn't. Yeah, I think maybe I didn't quite understand that because I just came away feeling. There was a couple of things I thought. Like, firstly, it's going back to the 40s, isn't it? So you're looking at sort of post-war. Some people have come back from the war.
Yeah, I mean,
and they've obviously got some sort of issues going on.
explores a little bit the shell shock
Exactly,
of things,
yeah,
not
psychological
just from
problems.
him, but also through because it's all of these apparently are going to be told from the perspective of a normal person.
Right.
So this one is Betty. It's kind
Yes.
of a little bit of a love interest
So
of Namor,
he's
but
on-off.
he
treats her like a scumbag.
well,
really.
I don't think he's overly.
Maybe just he doesn't get it on a human level. How you're supposed to, you know, treat these situations.
He's not overly. What's the word I'm looking for?
Gentle.
Well, you just go with one person.
Monogamous. Monogamy.
Yeah, what?
Yeah.
He doesn't know that either. Sorry, Mrs. Will.
I'm, you know, a one-woman man. Anyway.
Right,
So, yeah, I mean, it's a very retro story based in
it
that
is
era.
very, very retro, very retro. art.
Dredging up these kind of, you know, old sort of anti-German kind of Nazi sort of
You don't like that stuff?
tropes. Huh?
You don't like anti-Naziness?
come on,
Yeah, you're all
man.
down with the Nazis?
No, I mean, you know, don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm not with the Nazis. I'm just saying, like, it's a bit of a
Get over it.
tired story. Wow, it's,
What?
you
It
know,
was
it's
when
a tired
it was
storyline,
a story for the time.
It just seems a little bit. Come on, man.
There is one page
Surely there's a more interesting story you can tell.
where there's lots of things coming out of people's heads. Hopefully, with your work, you can do with
There is.
looking like.
We'll show that. Yeah, looking like a tree.
It looks
spouting out
like
his ear
Gus
holes.
from Sweet Tooth, basically. It's, and then you got the lady down there who's
Yeah.
to be
There
wearing.
was some, actually, I did quite like the artwork, I have to say. And it's that kind of traditional panel kind of layout, which I quite dig as well.
Yes, which makes it it does make it accessible and easy to read,
Yeah.
and you can just
Yeah,
see, you go
it does.
through, it was
It does.
nice storytelling for me.
Yeah.
If you want something cutting edge, nah, it's not for
It's
you.
not for you, is it?
But if you want to find out a little bit more about the heroes, and I'm sure this guy's going to become bigger, because...
You reckon? Everyone's a douchebag these days.
They're gonna, yeah. No, but they're gonna do a movie with.
Are they?
I think so.
Okay.
Well,
that'll be fun.
So yeah, and the Submariner will be along being a poo.
Yeah. Well, maybe he's one of those lovable kind of douchebags that you kind of think
Well,
it's kind of funny.
He loves himself, so that's
love
where
himself,
the kind of humour comes in. That one.
Yeah.
So,
I didn't get the humour, but anyway, there we go.
Well, no, this wasn't really about the humour. This was more about
Right.
what he's experienced. But when he's in other stories, he's this kind of arrogant.
So people sort of look at him a little bit in sort of like.
He's right. There's no more in it. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, cool. Well,
but for the first one of the series, because they're doing these, there's going to be a Spidey snapshot, there's going to be a Cap snapshot, there's going to be an Avengers snapshot, there's going to be an X-Men.
Cool.
And I think they're
those.
nice. Yeah, no, it's all looking back at when they came out in the Golden Age, and I like a little bit of a retrospective every now and
Don't
then.
get me wrong, I love a retrospective.
You just didn't
and
love
I
this
like the age. You know, I like the Silver Age. That's kind of, I love that stuff.
Silver
Damn right. Maybe not the the Golden Age so much, but I just think maybe a different character. You know, I would sort of jump on. I'm not particularly a big fan of this guy, and
Well, we'll try
I just thought the story was a little bit
wishy-washy.
unimaginative.
Watered down.
Hey.
Wishy-washy.
Yeah, I think it's
Submariner.
there it is.
Tons.
Oh no, that's very good. Yeah, I like it. Yeah, sorry, missed that. Too wrapped up in my own
Next,
thinking,
you wait.
you know? Douchebag. So,
Wasted.
where are we at next?
Next we are going on to Cable back.
Amazing. No, I quite enjoy this.
I'm not really getting enthusiasm for this
You know
week's
what?
books from you.
One of us has absolutely
Absolutely what?
absolutely gone down the rabbit hole and made themselves a rather grumpy boy today with the news that's coming out. And one of us has avoided it like the plague.
One of us brings a little
Which
bit of
one
an
would that be?
upbeat kind of, and one of us
So what, this guy went down the rabbit hole.
stay safe.
Made himself very grumpy. But we forgive him. 'Cause,
Are we meant to be happy about impending doom?
come on, dude. You know,
Only Doctor,
live in the now. Live in the moment.
isn't it?
We're all right now.
And that is reading
Yes.
Cable.
Days.
Happy diddly days.
Now then.
So, where do we start?
Well, page one. The cover.
Page one.
Oh. So this is young Cable, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Who came back and killed old Cable in a previous X book. But now it's all about the Dawn of X, and this is part of the Dawn of X.
Yeah. So this is leading into a series that's coming later in the year.
No, so this is Cable, which has started, but it's leading into, I don't think there's too much of a spoiler if there might be some seeds in here
Yes.
that are going to be more explored in the X of Swords, which is the big
That's what,
X-Men event that's coming out in the summer.
right.
Which is going to play on the swords of the tarot.
Okay.
Which is Mr. Hickman is going to play around some more with that, which we're going to come on to him in a little while, not physically, obviously.
You and the seeds. Right.
Everywhere, isn't it?
Yeah, so what do you think of this one, dude?
Well, it's drawn by Phil Noto, and anything that's drawn by Phil Noto, I will happily look
Gets a
through.
thumbs up.
Yeah.
Because one of the things I did like about this book was the art. I thought the art was
The
different.
art is gorgeous, the
interesting.
colouring is gorgeous.
Oh, yeah, it's got that sort of slightly, I don't know, how would you describe that? Like almost like a watercolory sort of wash.
Yeah, it's kind of
style.
it's kind of sepia, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a beautiful.
But it is gorgeous, and any book that opens up with somebody fighting Wolverine gets my money as well.
Unless he beats Wolverine.
Even then, it's just good to see old
It's
Snick.
good to see.
And,
It's good to see.
and then it ends with a real kind of, whoa, yes! Because young Cable he can carry a book, I think. I like the bants that's going on. But he doesn't grab me as a character. I don't know, he looks a little bit too clean cut, and Cable...
He's a grizzled old warrior, isn't he?
He's been through time and space, and you don't come back looking all like...
clean-shaven.
Exactly, and hot. I mean,
boy.
it's like you've been through time, you've been through space.
Look at me, I'm a freaking mess.
It's like, this is what happens, thank you.
Right?
Yeah. They should put a little bit more realism into these things.
I know, man. Yeah.
But yes, I think it's very nice.
It's a beautiful looking book.
They go to Monsterland, which is pretty cool.
This is a riff on an old sort of tale, isn't it?
Ooh, you stole my...
Did I steal your next line? Sorry, dude.
It's alright, we only talked about it earlier and I said it and you went, oh yeah. Like...
Come on, it's pretty
No,
awesome.
it's like Fable, isn't it?
Yeah.
But it plays on it really well, I think. And,
well, it's very close, literal. It's basically the same story, isn't it?
Yes and no.
Okay.
But they might play on it later on down the line.
Yeah, maybe.
And not only that, it is going to play into the swords, the X swords, swords of X. So don't miss the first step on that road. Well, not the first step, but the next step on that road. Yeah. And it looks very pretty, and it's pretty well written, a little bit of bounce in there.
Yeah, some good stuff in there.
Kind of nice characters, but the very last page, like I say, gives you ooh.
Hello.
Yeah, but we won't tell you that
tell you exactly what happens then.
that Magneto comes and kills everyone.
Oh, come on, man. Damn.
Anyway.
Cool. So where are we at next? Jerry Duggan, isn't it, that one?
That is, yes.
Yeah. So it's got that kind of...
From...
What's he from?
Really? Deadpool?
No, yeah. Okay. But he's... Come on, dude. But he's... I quite like his kind of bantery writing style. I do actually quite like his writing style.
It works for me.
Yeah. Anyway, where are we at next?
Well, we're gonna go back to where we started with that one.
Yes.
And the Hickman.
Yeah.
And Mr. Hickman has got a new book out, but it's not from Marvel.
Exciting times.
And it's not from the X-Men, although weirdly, I think it could cross over to the X-Men really easily just by what's been put in there.
Yeah.
But it is the beautiful Decorum.
Yeah.
Something that I think you should have a little bit more of.
Oh,
Quite frankly.
Come on.
I know, I'm joking. I'm playing. So, Mr. Hickman.
Where do we start?
Mr. Hickman. He is an amazing writer. When I'm talking, I've been known to say.
Yes.
I have,
amongst other things.
Amongst other things, no, but I have been known to liken him to Mr. George R.R. Martin in that they build worlds, but they create worlds down to very little details, and so they're worlds that you can purely immerse yourself in.
Yeah.
But that makes it a little bit inaccessible sometimes when you're picking up a single issue comic.
Sure. Well, you've got to dive in, haven't you?
Well, you've got to dive in, but it's almost like an overload of information in the 36 or 48 pages that you get in there. But that actually is a good thing as well, because you're spending £3.50 on this, or £4.30, sorry.
Yeah.
And you have to go back and read it a couple of times. So you're going to get your money's worth. I haven't had a chance for my second read through yet. So this is all just the first reading. Yeah, the first reading. And I mean, it's everything about it. The guy intersperses his work with just really nice graphic design, but it's not just there for
this as well. Like, this is a feature, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. It started ever since his these nightly news hit and things like that. I think he was a graphic designer to start with, so his brain obviously works
in his
like this.
system.
But I mean, in this, I fully believe that he has got a language going on.
Dude, I thought he hit amazing heights. Like, I mean, the artwork is stunning. It's absolutely beautiful, and it's different styles, and they sort of intermesh really well. Very kind of graphic, and that kind of intercut with these sort of patches of sort of text and sort of graphical work that describe, because it's a very picture-y sort of based book, isn't it? In terms of the storytelling, some of there's no dialogue,
Yeah, no, I think
and it's described by these patches of kind of text.
prose.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's the thing. I mean, quite often, if you're reading a comic, you don't want to read a page of just prose. But you have to in this.
Yeah.
Because what he's doing in the pages is kind of just character building and then a little bit of world building, but you get the background to that world, which really fills it up and puts meat on the bones.
Yeah.
And I have to have a second read of it, but I know that I really liked it on the first read.
Dude, I thought it was amazing.
No idea where it's going to go.
No.
And you've got to hope he has done a few things where he's started them and then never returned, so that leaves you kind of really wanting more. But with this, I think hopefully he's going to carry it on. Unless the work over at Marvel in the X universe really takes over. But I mean, how big is this guy's brain and how busy is he?
I think when you say world building, that's the right sort of, because he does do that, doesn't he? He just creates these living, breathing, kind of dynamic worlds
exactly.
that
you would
fully
think
immerse in, and you're like, whoa.
He's probably got like 3D models around his house of all the universes that he's creating.
So cool.
He is like a real life Franklin Richards, but he's in his own mind.
And it doesn't. I think the other thing about these books, like this sort of style book particularly, is it doesn't kind of treat the reader as it's an adult book. Like it doesn't, it's not simplistic. It's not kind of silly.
Comics aren't for kids, man.
Some of them are, dude.
No, of course they are.
Some of them
They are.
You read this Submariner?
Dealing with shell shock and PTSD.
Kids are a little bit sophisticated these days.
They've all got it.
That's right.
It's hard out there.
It's tough.
Yeah.
Especially up north. Yeah. I thought this book, man.
No more.
Hey. I thought, real kind of treats the reader as a sophisticated sort of individual. And, I think it's really great storytelling.
It is.
And the prose and the imagery and the world building, it's just a great book.
It is, and there's even a little a recipe for street noodles in here.
Yeah.
Which I just love that little infographic touches. But it's the little touches that build. And
who did the art for this?
It's chap Huddleston. And he's done Deathstroke and The Coffin. Well, you might know him from Butcher Baker.
Right.
Butcher Baker, Righteous Maker. And again, it's lots of great line work, some of it really coloured, and then others it just drops back the colouring, and it really helps lend to the storytelling of the overall book, because sometimes it would be...
Cool characters, well thought out characters, way cool kind of courier kind of character.
Lovely. And
just amazing.
Yeah. And All About Manners, which I think we all forget don't cost anything, and we could use a little bit more of in today's
world.
rude world.
Yes, I know, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So
that is a knockout.
Smashed it out of the park, that one.
Fully is a
Looking forward to more of that.
Out.
Yeah.
And yes, it's going to be up there with his Black Monday Murders, East of West, and the guy has got the chops.
Boom! Yeah.
Well done.
Good stuff. Well, there we are, Snappers. So, thanks very much for all of that. Come out and buy your books. If you've got to hunker down, come and get some comic books, innit?
To hunker
Enjoy
with.
yourself, to hunker with.
Exactly. Escapism. That is what we're all about.
There we are. So, if you like what we do, maybe hit the old subscribe. Maybe hit the old notification button. We'll be back next week with some more books for you. Take care of yourself, kids.